Hello Dev, what's up? Welcome back to WebDev channel. In today's episode, we're gonna create step-by-step from scratch a FAQ accordion with CSS and JavaScript. We're gonna make it look very nice, as you can see, using CSS. We have the questions and the hidden answer, so that when the user clicks on the question, it opens up, show the answer. As you can see, it's also changed the font. We are gonna do that using JavaScript or toggle the class to activate. This is a quite simple project with a lot of cool stuff for you to learn and a nice project for you to add to your portfolio or use on your own website. Hey, if you're new here and you want to increase your web dev skills, subscribe and click that little bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video. Okay, hey Dev, start from the beginning, start from scratch, step by step. Let's create our file structure, okay? Let's use the terminal here, touch. Let's create our content layer, index.html, for the presentation layer, inside.css, and for the behavior, app.js. Hit enter, and yeah, we have all the files here. All we need is here. Let's open up the index.html and just have our boilerplate created, okay? Now we hit tab a couple of times, go to the title, and here in the title, let's say the name of the project, okay? FAQ Accordion card. We will also need a link connecting our markup to our CSS. There's a lot of CSS in this project, okay? And one last thing, let's come here to the body. Close the closing body tag, let's have our script tag, okay? This one is gonna be pointed to our external JavaScript file. So let's type its name here, is app.js. Our boilerplate is done. So let's go ahead and create our markup file, okay? It's gonna be also quite simple. See you there. All right, let's dive it right into the markup, okay? And here we're gonna have our main, and the class is gonna be a wrapper. It's gonna wrap around everything. And here we're gonna have our image wrapper, okay? It's gonna wrap around all our pictures, okay? And down here, the pictures, you can download them from the link down below in the video description, okay? So that image wrapper inner. And inside this one, we're gonna have our pictures, okay? We have two pictures, a question and a box. The first one, let's grab the question picture, okay? SVG, and here for out, let's say image. And the second one, down below this one, is a sibling. We're gonna have image.box, okay? Let's select the image, the img folder. And here, let's find the illustration box desktop. Let me just give it a save and open live server and show you what we have so far. Looks like we have just two pictures, okay? We have our two pictures, and now let's have accordion wrapper, okay? And around this one, we're gonna have our h1. The h1 here, the class is gonna be title accordion, and for the text here, FAQ, okay? This is that big text. And under this one, we're gonna have our questions accordion. All right. As you can see, I give a save, and you can see the FAQ. All right, we have the pictures and we have the FAQ, but we don't have the best one here. We don't have the questions and answers. So let's create that, questions and answers, and let's have a div and call that questions. And guess what you're gonna have here? The questions. So h3, okay, question. Let me copy this one. There is a link down below so you can download this one. And how many team members can I invite? You know, looks like you can invite a lot, not sure. And let's have also under this one a image. It's gonna be icon, arrow down. And right under this one, we're gonna have the answer. We have the question, and now we need the answer. And here is the answer. Okay, you can use the lower epsilon if you want, but that's it. We have a question, we have the arrow down, and we also have the answer. Okay, and now all we're gonna do is let's duplicate those lines of code and make a couple of changes. Okay, and let me just give some space here so you can know exactly what we are doing. We have this question, the answer, accordion. We have the question and of course the answer. But we don't have just one, we have more than that. So let's duplicate those lines of code. Okay, let me just duplicate this one. But duplicate is not enough because we have repeated the questions and answers. So let's change it, okay? Let's start by change the question. This one, what's the maximum file upload size? I have no idea, all right? And here they say no more than 2 gigabytes. And all right, we have 2 already, and we need one more, okay? For our FAQ. And this one is how they reset my password. Of course, this is just a boilerplate. You can use whatever answer and questions you want, okay, Dev? Do not worry about this one, all right? All right, Dev, we're almost finished here, our markup. And you can download that down below in my Facebook page. There is a link down here, so you can go there and download it, okay? So you can follow along. And let's just duplicate this one and let's copy this, okay? Let's copy the question. Can I cancel my subscription? I believe you can, but let me just copy this and paste it down here. And now we need the answer. Yes, send us a message. Okay, let me copy this. Let me copy and paste. Okay, let's paste this down here. And as you can see, our markup is done. It's very ugly, but done. And we're gonna fix that right now using CSS. Alright, Dev, we are in the realm of CSS where part of the magic happens. Okay, so let's start by change the font. Let's grab Poppins from Google Fonts. Okay, it's free and it's quite simple. And let me just paste it here, okay? We're gonna use that later on. Alright, and the second step here, let's have variables with all the colors, okay? That's the best way of doing, because if you wanna change some colors, you do it here, up here, instead of going down in the document, looking for the colors, and it can generate some mistakes, okay? So we have the soft red here. Let's have a second color. This one is going to be a very, very dark gray blue. Okay, HSL 237, 12%, and also 33%. All right, let's get one more here. This one just dark gray blue. We have a very dark, and this is one is dark gray blue. Okay, HSL 240. And 6% and 50%. All right. One more thing here. This time we have the light gray blue HSL 240, 5% and 91%. One more for the font. Let's say font size, and let's set that to 12 pixels. And yeah, this part is done. We also want to have here a CSS set, and box sizing is going to be about the box, much better to work with. Okay, width and height. And for our HTML, let's pick that font, okay? Font size, if I can type, looks like that's not the case. So font size, let's use the variable here, dash font size. Okay, and yeah, it's there. And moving to the body, now here let's get rid of margin. Margin is going to be 0. Let's also apply that height is going to be 100 VH, okay? The width is going to also be 100 VW, okay? Let's pick a background. In this case, we're going to use a linear gradient, going from one color to another one, HSL, and let's pick 273, 75%, and also 68%, and you have this purple-ish column, all right? The second one here is going to HSL 240, 73%, and also 65, okay? And you have this purplish and this bluish color, and you start to look nice. Start to look at our project, okay? And for the layout here, let's have the display. We're gonna use grid, okay? Justify content center. Let's put everything right in the middle. Align content. Come back here, okay, and align content also center, so vertically and horizontally is right in the middle. And now we wanna grab the wrapper, that one that wraps around those questions and answer and also picture. So the background, let's pick a color, a nice color. Let's have RGB, not RGBA. 2026, 2026 3 times, and you have this nice white color. And let's also pick a background color, okay, this one. There's a link down below so you can download this one or the one you like the most, okay? Another important step here is no repeat. So you have the same picture there with no repetitions. And the position, 1260%, and also 65%. Okay, that's for the background. Another thing we can see on the corners here, they need to be a little round. I don't like the way they are right now. So border radius, let's say 30%. Let's give it a height. Let me see. 509 pixels. This is the full height. And the width is going to be 920 pixels. Let me give more space here so you can see what we are done. As you can see, the picture is too big. We're gonna deal with that later. And for the layout here, display, let's use grid. Okay, we want 2 columns. Let's have a grid template columns. One column 400 pixels, and another one 1FR. Okay, as you can see, we have 2 of them, and we also need a gap between them. Okay, same space, so grid gap. And let's have here 6 rank. Okay, depending on your project. And now we want to deal with the questions accordions. Okay, let me type here questions accordion. And in order for you to know what we are doing here, I'm gonna apply a color. So background color is gonna be this orange. So this is the questions accordion. You can see now because it has a different color. All right. And now let's make a couple of changes. The height is gonna be 100%, and the display flex putting side by side horizontally. We don't want that. So let's change the flex direction to column, so they stack on the top of each other. Okay, good. Now we go to the question and answer accordion. Okay, and here we want to change 2 things: the size, and you also apply a solid border. Okay, give a space in between them. So question and answers accordion. Let's also give it a width of 350%. All right. And let's also have a border. Our border here, bottom is gonna be 1 pixel. It's gonna be also solid. And let's pick a nice color, E8, E8, EA, okay? And here they are, our solid border bottom. A title should be big, okay? And call our attention. So let's change this one. Font size is gonna be 3 rem, much bigger. Now we can see FAQ. And margin top is 0 pixels. Push it up a little bit. And that's it for the title. Alright, dev. And now we're gonna grab the questions, okay? The class dot title questions. And the font weight here is gonna be 400, okay? And the font weight 1.2 rem. A little bigger. And for the color, let's pick that one, the very dark gray blue. Okay, let me give some more real estate here so you can see better. And for the margin, let's give 1.4 rem top and bottom and 0 rem left and right. All right. And that's it for the questions. Let's keep going. And now let's fix that arrow down pictures, okay? The display here is going to be flex, putting side by side. As you can see, they stuck on each other. So let's solve that with justify content space between. So we have all this space in between them, okay? And another thing here, let's change the cursor to pointer. Now the user knows that he can click on it, okay? That's good. And one more thing, as you can see, this is quest. And let's change that one, okay? So you can see the real thing here. So align itself center, and yeah, now we can see the arrow downs. Okay, this part is done. And now let's grab the picture itself and let's make a couple of changes. Okay, and the first one here is we're gonna have the wrap where the pictures is in it. Okay, so that image underscore wrapper, and let's make it relative. Why? Because the picture is gonna be absolute to it. Okay, so down here, let's grab image wrapper and let's target our image wrapper inner img. Okay, and let's start off position this one. The first thing here, absolute. So this picture is absolute to its parent. Okay, the height here is gonna be 70%. And now we wanna say from the top, let's say 10 pixels. Okay, let me give a save. And let's bring it to the left. The left here is gonna be 16 pixels. We save it and you see it's right where we want. Okay. And now let's play with the ball, or let's say the box. Okay, let's position this. First of all, let's select that dot box, and position here is gonna be also absolute. Okay, so we can move that, position that inside this parent. And from the top, 40%. Okay, almost in the middle. And for the left, let's say something like minus 27%. And it's gonna be close to this boy here. Yeah, very nice. Okay, Dev, it looks like our content and our presentation layer are done. but we don't have any behavior, okay? So we're gonna create that using JavaScript and a little bit of CSS, okay? First of all, when the answer is active, instead of being displayed none, the display is gonna be a block, okay? So you're gonna be able to see it. And the padding, we're gonna also have a padding model of 1.3 range. And you can ask, when do I have this active? Okay, and you're gonna do that using JavaScript. You're gonna toggle between active and no active, okay? Let's also apply a transition, all 0.3 seconds, and this one is gonna be is in, okay? And now we are in the JavaScript realm where the magic really happens, okay? Let's start out by select the elements from the DOM, okay? In order to do that, let's get document, query select all, and let's select our questions and save them into a variable called questions, okay? Okay, now we have a reference to them and we want to loop through all these elements, okay? So question dot for each question, what's gonna happen? We're gonna have a question and add event listen to it, waiting for a click. And when this click happens, we're gonna run this callback function. And what it's gonna do? In our case, first, this is gonna be quite simple. We're gonna console.log clicked, okay? It's quite simple. We loop to it. Let me give a click here. And clicked, and yeah, it's working, but we don't want just console log, we want to make some changes, okay? Okay, so let's have here a if statement, okay? And what we're gonna say here, if question dot parent node, let me show you who is the parent node here. We have the question, and the parent node is question answer accordion, okay? Is this one, all right? Let me close this for now and go back. If question.parent node class list contains active, okay? If this is active, what's gonna happen? Question.parent node, we're gonna toggle between active and not active, okay? Else question for each question, we're gonna grab this question, the parent node class list, and let's remove the class of active because we want just one active per time, okay? You cannot open two at the same time, but just one. And another scenario here is when there is no active class. So question dot parent node, class list dot add active, okay? If that's not active, we're gonna have active. Let me just show you how it's working now. If I click here, yeah, now it's active, no active, and active, okay? So it's not the question, but it's parent node, okay? The question and answer question that's gonna toggle between active and not active. Okay, our content layer, our presentation layer and behave is almost done. But when I click here, it just open and close and nothing happens with this arrow down. It should move or do something to show the user that something has happened. So let's do that here in our CSS, okay? It's nice to see how CSS and JavaScript work together to make a beautiful website. So when this is active, okay, what's gonna happen to our image? This is gonna transform, rotate 180 degrees. Let's also apply some transition, okay? All 0.3 seconds is in. I click here, it opens. Yeah, looks good, but it's not because it doesn't close. So let's duplicate this line of code up here. We have until now a state just for when this is active, and we want when this is not. So let's delete this active. And rotate here, instead of 180 degrees, we're gonna have 0 degrees. Okay, it's done. Now let's see how it goes. When I click here, it opens and closes, open and close. And as you can see, it's much better, okay? There is just one last thing we would like to do before we finish this one. We want to give emphasis to the question, okay? We want to change the size or change the how big or the color, anything to show that the user clicks on it, okay? So let's grab the active 83, and we're gonna change just the font weight to 700. Let me show you. I click here, the arrow open close, and we have this nice effect, okay? So that's it, guys. That's all for today. I really hope you like it. If you like it, you know what to do. Subscribe, and you also click that little bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video like this one. Bye bye, and I see you in the next one.